Al Rumayzan Gold and Jewelry. Al Zahra Jewelry. Abdullah Al Mansouri Gold and Jewelry Trading. Congratulations to all of our participants. It's time now for our next panel discussion. UAE, the gold jewelry trade hub for world export. Italy honors UAE during 50th anniversary of UAE Unity 1971 to 2021 by showcasing unique gold historic masterpieces. Our moderator for this discussion is Mr. Isaac John, Editorial Director at the Khalij Times, Dr. Giuseppe Fionciaro, Consul General of Italy in Dubai, Dr. Maria Loretta De Toni, President, Maria De Toni, SRL, and Advisor of Industries and Services, Chamber of Confindustria Vicenza. Professor Ida Zilio Grandi, Director of ICC, which is the Italian Cultural Institute of Embassy of Italy in Abu Dhabi, and Professor of Arab Language and Literature of Sfoscati University in Venice. Mr. Damiano Fior, Vice Consul General, Deputy Consul General, Consulate of Italy, Dubai. Dr. Maria Lucia Mattarelli, Deputy Trade Commissioner to the UAE Dubai Office of ITA. Dr. Piero Spegiorin, Designer and CEO of Maria De Toni SRL and Associated Confindustria Vicenza Giovanni. And Dr. Francesco Santa, Managing Director, HBG Italy and International BDM Gruppo IEG Italy. Please join me in welcoming our panelists and moderator.
Yeah, please. Do you need anything? No, their names.
Yeah, we will place that.
Please.
You have the photos here, right?
Yeah, but very difficult to.
For sure, we will put the names, but just for your own convenience.
Consul General is this one. Consul General, CG, Consul General, no? Yes, yes, Consul General. Maria.
Yeah, Professor Mia here.
Okay.
Damiano Fior.
The
Oh, he's not here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He is not there. Okay, then Piero is there. Maria Lucia is not also there.
No.
So these two people are not
Yeah,
there.
but do you have a pen or should I bring you one?
Okay.
Should I bring you one?
Yeah, please. Your Excellency, let us start. Okay. Welcome to one of the most exciting sessions of today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an eminent panelists who are all experts in gold and jewelry trades, and especially they are coming from Italy, and Italy is known for its gold trade like Dubai. I have been to the city of Vicenza. How do you pronounce that? Yeah, Vicenza. Yeah, it is also known as the city of gold, like Dubai is known for us, the city of gold. And here, it is exciting times for UAE and Dubai. And as UAE is marking its 50th golden anniversary celebrations. Over the 50 years, UAE has become one of the most advanced nations in the world, and it has marked its several milestones, and it is now primed for the next 50 years of its technology-driven growth. But always gold is playing an integral part of UAE's trade. Next to oil, gold is one of the important commodities, and UAE has established itself as a global hub. It is an understatement to say that UAE is emerging as a global hub for gold trade. Dubai, as you know, the city of gold, it has got one of the most vibrant gold and jewelry trading ecosystems in the world. And it has even exceeded Italy, because Italy was once known for its white gold and all that, but Dubai has come up or exceeded all expectations in its spectacular journey of growth. And today we are going to discuss about that. And I would like the panelists to share their thoughts on Dubai and the Dubai's gold trade, how it is again primed for the next phase of its growth journey. And we will start with His Excellency, the Consul General of Italy, Dr. Giuseppe Finocchiaro. Welcome, sir. Finocchiaro. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Allow me first to greet and thank all the organizers and the distinguished speakers of the event today. It is a great pleasure for me to attend today an event dedicated to one of the best expressions of the uniqueness and richness of Italy, the gold industry and jewelry that has historical deep roots in my country. In line with the spirit of the Italian Pavilion Expo 2020 Dubai, Beauty Connects People, Italian jewelry well combines our tradition of harmony, proportion, and balance of the classical age with innovation. Italy indeed is a land of ancient craftsmanship, where the art of working precious stones and materials has been developing throughout the centuries. Still nowadays, we all look with marvel at the necklaces and bracelets produced by Etruscan artisans, magnificent earrings worn by ancient Roman matrons, splendid crowns worn by kings and queens of the Renaissance. Our tradition explains why Italy's extraordinary artisanal, industrial, and designing know-how in the jewelry sector is recognized worldwide. We boast a deeply rooted network of 7,100 enterprises, above all small and medium firms, often family-run. And our clusters, like those of Vicenza, Arezzo, and Alessandria, are globally well-known. Even throughout 2020, a year dramatically marked by the COVID-19 pandemic, Italy ranked as the world's 6th largest exporter in the jewelry sector, while our share of the global exportations in the industry steadily increased during recent years, growing from 4.0 in 2018 to 4.2 in 2019 and reaching 4.6 last year. The Global Gold Convention in Dubai is invested with a particular significance for Italy this year. In the first semester of 2021, the United Arab Emirates have been our third market of destination for jewelry products, while at the same time we represented the world's third most important supplier of gold and precious accessories. Moreover, as Italian design and manufacturing skills are highly appreciated in the United Arab Emirates, I believe there are considerable margins to consolidate and intensify our bilateral commercial relations. To this aim, the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation is deeply committed to fostering the internationalization of our enterprises, leverage the tremendous potential of our exchange with the United Arab Emirates in this sector. Thanks to their strategic position at the heart of 3 continents, Dubai and the United Arab Emirates have the potential to strengthen even further their role as global player in the gold market and to become an important springboard for Italian products in the world. I would like once again to thank the organizers of the convention for the invitation and the opportunity provided to my country to showcase one of its excellences. And I wish you all a fruitful and successful event. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Next, I would invite Professor Ida Silio Grandi to make a.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Shukran jazilan. We've been speaking of happiness, and this is a really happy opportunity for me to talk about goldsmithing in an Arab country like the Emirates, where the appreciation of this metal is equal to that of Italy. We all know that in the societies of the Middle East, even in the pre-Islamic period, gold has always been the basis for the monetary system and a standard symbol of princely status. The use of gold in jewelry, ornamental crafts, manuscript illuminations, and in calligraphy was widely practiced during the Middle Ages. A prominent place in the goldsmithing production was held by Baghdad, great crossroad of ethnic groups and cultures comparable to the Emirates of our days. But gold has always been more than this. For example, an object of philosophical reflection. In Arabic sources on natural philosophy, gold occupies a central position in the theory of metals. It is the master of the metals and bears only the best attributes, such as perfection of purity and longevity, malleability, sweetness of smell, and so forth. And because of this perfection, they compared gold to the sun. Muslim alchemists, the pioneers of modern chemistry, hoped that through their art they could produce these ideal conditions and transform base metals into gold. They invented code names for the minerals, and in their works, gold was often referred to as the sun or even the first. Although they accepted the theory of transmutation of metals, they were well acquainted with various chemical processes. Gold was also used in Muslim medicine. It was considered particularly effective for diseases of the eyes and as a remedy for melancholia, palpitation of the heart, or alopecia. Golden instruments were used for piercing the ears, for cauterization, and in ophthalmology. Some physicians even mention the positive effects of using golden vessels. Fabrics with golden ornament were appreciated in all epochs of Islam, although the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, objected to too rich clothing. Garments decorated with golden embroideries or made of woven gold brocade were often used as robes of honor, like khila. Gold script was also used for numerous masahif, that is, the copies of the Holy Quran. Here in the Gulf countries, as in many cultures across the Islamic world, dress and bodily aesthetics emphasize gender difference. For example, the ideal material of female adornment is gold as well as silk, while the Sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him, prohibits men from wearing either. A matching set of gold bracelet, necklace, earrings, and ring is given by the groom to his bride, when they marry. Thus, gold jewelry both enhances a woman's beauty and signals social status and wealth. Given this long and rich tradition, we are not surprised that the Arab Emirates appreciate gold worked in Italy, a country where the art of goldsmithing is equally ancient. A country where gold doesn't mean only wealth, but is also and above all a great vehicle of cultural heritage, and where this heritage, never rigid, never stagnant, is born from the ability to absorb other cultures and traditions, and in this very way is able to produce innovation. Even in Italian jewelry, as well as in Arab and Islamic, the presence of patterns common to other civilizations is evident, and it is the result of mutual interaction and a great example of interculturality. This happened long before we were Italians, long before we were Romans, but when Italy was dominated by the Etruscans between the 9th and the first centuries BC. The Etruscans, great goldsmiths, took advantage of Syrian and Phoenician craftsmanship to produce pins, brooches, bracelets, and so on. In the Middle Ages, the Italian gold working absorbed the precious motifs of Byzantine art and also of the Scandinavian, the so-called barbarian one, this latter with a typical animalistic style. But it is during the Renaissance that the link between gold and culture became closer. Many painters and sculptors entered the goldsmiths' workshops, such as Donatello, Botticelli, Ghirlandaio, Brunelleschi, without forgetting Cellini. In the same period, Cosimo de' Medici established the workshops of Ponte Vecchio in Florence for jewelers, and still to this period belongs the great cultural and artistic flowering of the city of Vicenza. Among the prominent personalities, Valerio Belli, a great goldsmith, engraver, medalist, a friend of Michelangelo and Raphael, the most outstanding artist of Vicenza before the rise of Andrea Palladio, the great architect. I will conclude with a small comment. Today, as in the past, companies in the goldsmithing sector in Italy show a willingness and ability to marry Italian style with the style of other countries, while maintaining intact the typical Italian attention to finish and detail. However, this is especially observed in the output of independent, unbranded jewelers, characterized by greater stylistic research. This is precisely the strength of the independent and less known Italian jewelers from the gold districts famous all over the world, like Vicenza first of all, but also Valenza, Naples, Torre del Greco, Arezzo, Florence. It is they who have made Italy the leading producer and exporter of goldsmithing in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Ida. Have you noticed one thing very exciting to see? Almost all the panelists have taken their doctorates. So our constitutionalist also has taken a doctorate in international law. International law. Yeah. Okay, and thank you very much. And before, I will call now Dr. Maria Loretta Di Toni. She is the president of Maria Di Toni and advisor to Industries and Services Chamber of Confederation of Industry, Vicenza.
Thank you to all of you to make a great dream. Why can become the world hub of gold jewelry made in Italy as an example for the nations to express their own identities and cultures. Because the world of identities and culture is a world of peace and tolerance with no division. And gold is the best expression, and the jewel is the flower blooming of the gold. In this occasion, I want to thank personally His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Ahmed Al Ahmed, who has presented my small example of icons. You will see at the end of the ballroom historic icons featuring the bridge between Italy and Why? Why? Because we have reproduced the arabesque coming through Venice to Italy, to Vicenza, on the crown of Our Lady, and expressed this arabesque in a collection that is celebrating the 50 years of Hawaii unity. Because if you pay attention, the decorations on the arabesque are expressing the unity of 7 sheikhs that have believed in the dream of Hawaii. In 1971, with the President Sheikh Zayed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the 7 sheikhs have created Hawaii, and today this can be a great hub for all the nations. Why I'm talking about made in Italy of identity in jewelry? Because we have to preserve the culture of each country. And the gold traders that were present today of the City of Gold are the expression of many countries that were attracted by His Highness Sheikh Rashid bin Zayed Al Maktoum. The importance is to create the modernity by respecting the tradition, the heritage. And Sheikh Khalid said to us personally, I believe in gold because gold is the cultural heritage of the Hawaii, and is also an expression of love to women that love jewelry, but this jewelry is not only aesthetical, but is also expression of the country, of the architecture, of many aspects. And I'm saying that Dubai can be the future Y hub if we translate culture into products. And Expo 2020 is a great opportunity because it is talking about 182 nations, that every nation has the right to say, I am the best. And this country is helping everybody to express the best talents. So I have our dream that Sheikh Khalid will bring this team of gold traders to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, a visionary and a Bati poet that had a dream how to make Dubai the best, but everybody inside the country to be the best, but also us coming from Italy. We are honored to be here, and we are grateful for this opportunity that IBMC is giving to us. Thank you to everybody to be here.
Thank you, Dr. Maria. Very insightful presentation. And as you said, gold and gold jewelry are part of Dubai's vibrant culture also, our tradition. And I think, the city of Vincentia and Dubai are both known as City of Gold, and they are twin cities, in fact. And Dubai is also contributing greatly, or a major share of Dubai's GDP is accounted by gold and jewelry trade. And Dubai also has emerged as a center of diamond trades. Anyway, later on we will discuss that. Now I invite Dr. Piero Spigiorin.
Yes.
So if you are comfortable sitting there, you can,
thank
you can
you.
take to the podium.
Yes, I'm honored to be here today at the Global Gold Convention. And our aim as Italians and as jewelry lover is to spread the jewelry, especially from Italy, all over the world. So my studies were in Verona, where I studied languages for international trade. And I started very young to travel all over the world with my mother, the owner, and me, I'm the CEO of the company, Maria De Toni. And I have been in many places, United States, China, Israel, but nowhere in the world you can find a system and a gold district as in Dubai. Dubai has been always, and especially in the last 15 years, the ideal city for the gold trade. A city that started, thanks to the sheikhs, with like a modern gateway of merchandise of gold jewelry. But what is the goal nowadays? The goal nowadays is that Dubai becomes an import and export hub for the gold jewelry. Our aim is especially from Italy, even if we are third in the championship, because the first is Indian jewelry, the second is Turkish jewelry, and the third is Italian jewelry. But what we had the opportunity also today to see these gold dealers that are implementing the Made in Italy import and exporting worldwide the jewelry. So we are confident that also thanks to Expo, we will have the chance to, how can I say, to re-emphasize the role of Italy as a historical country of gold, and also to sustain the trade between Italy and the UAE in the next years. So what can I say? That during also my studies, my final dissertation was about Dubai. So this city has always been the best place to trade the gold. This is an example. And for the future, we hope that we will do even much better thanks to the sheikhs, to the authorities, and to the gold dealers. Thank you very much to all of you.
You said your dissertation was on Dubai. On what subject it was?
My final dissertation was on Dubai, and especially on the city of gold of Dubai as a central trade hub for all over the world for Italian products, because I started very young to travel for business, for developing the gold jewelry sector for my company, for my family company. So I thought at that time that Dubai was the perfect example of an international trade applied to cultures, because especially what is the difference between Dubai and the other city of the world that are well known for the gold? That Dubai has the international structure, airport, infrastructure, hotellerie, restaurants, that the other places they don't have. And second, they have citizens and investors all over the world coming to Dubai to invest in the gold sector and to spread the jewelry and the gold, because we are in the gold, all over the world. So this is the peculiarity of Dubai. If we speak about America, it's related especially to American market. If we speak about Israel, to the local market. But Dubai, especially in the last 15 years, has been a trade hub for all over the world. And the goal of the sheikhs is to not only to dedicate this country to Middle East or Africa, but to open the portfolio of the investors of the trade to North America, to South America, to all over the world. And the Expo is the first step.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Piro. Your good words, exciting words about Dubai. It's very apt. And Dubai has long ago learned that, innovate or stagnate. So Dubai has been innovating consistently for the last 50 years. That is why Dubai has become, or emerged as the world's best place to trade in gold and jewelry trade.
See, let's say we can go to Mars, but we have always been taking care of what are our roots. I'm speaking about Dubai.
Thank you.
The roots of the city, the roots of the country is the gold heritage.
Thank you,
That is
Dr. Piro, for your
important.
nice words.
Thank you.
Next, our next panelist is Dr. Francisco Santa. He is the Managing Director of HBG Italy and International BDM Group, Italy. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, also on behalf of IEG Group, let me thank His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Ahmed Al Ahmad, and of course, organization, Ibmc, all guests and speakers. IEG, Italian Exhibition Group, is an Italian company listed in a stock exchange on the Italian stock market. We own 2 exhibition venues in Italy, in Rimini and in Vicenza, and also a couple of congress centers in the both city. We own and we organize more than 50 events every year, and hundreds of congresses in our centers. Vicenza, as you know, it's quite a famous city in our industry. It's in a strategic position because it's less than an hour by car from Milan and less than 30 minutes from Venice, and is worldwide known as the jewelry manufacturing center in Italy. But we have to say that its tradition in jewelry began far away in the 14th centuries. Now, almost 100 years ago, Vicenza Oro was born, a trade show dedicated to B2B professional in jewelry, and during the year has developed and has become one of the most important exhibitions in the world in our industry. Today, Vicenza hosts every year 2 editions, one in January and one in September, and we host more than 1,000 exhibitors and thousands and thousands of visitors from all over the world. Our shows offer super variety of categories, from technologies to brands, from gems and diamonds to producers. Visitors, as I mentioned, are coming from more than 120 countries, and many of them are coming actually from Middle East. UAE, in particular, have a long history of relationship with Vicenza Oro and with the city of Vicenza. Annually, we host a lot of very important buyers, and most of our Italian company has a history of success in your country. On this strong relationship between Vicenza Oro and UAE, IEG decided to build a new gateway for jewelry in Dubai. In fact, we have launched, together with Informa, a new exhibition in Dubai in February 2022 called JGT Dubai. The show will also have the support of the DMCC and the Dubai and Gold Jewelry Group. So we can clearly say the UAE is one of the heart of the Vicenza Oro strategy, and all our group is focused on strengthening the Italian footprint in the UAE. But in this venture, in this new venture, we are not alone. We want to thank, of course, of the support of our embassy and our consul here in UAE, the Italian Trade Agency, of course, that always support us and our producers and exhibitors to come and exhibit in the UAE, all the national association, and of course our fantastic producer and exhibitors like Maria De Toni, for instance. So thank you very much to all of you for being here today, and I hope to see all of you in February in our JGT Dubai show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Francisco, and very glad to know that you are opening your office or your setup here in Dubai.
Actually, we already have a company here. We bought an organizer last July, in July 2020. It's an exhibition organizer. We organize the Dubai Muscle Show and Dubai Active Show already in Dubai. And we launch, as I mentioned before, a new jewelry show that will be held in February, from the 22nd to the 24th of February next year at the Dubai World Trade Center.
That's a very late for news for Dubai, because Dubai, it is the city of more than 200 nationalities, and Italy and Italian jewelry are well respected. And I mean, apart from Indians in India is the main source of Indian jewelry. And for Arabs, it is Turkish. But for the rest of the world, I think Italy has to play a very crucial role, or it has been playing a crucial role. So it is well-timed, and you will be well-positioned to tap those exciting opportunities. Now we have virtually our panelist, Dr. Maria Lucy Martiroli, and she's the Deputy Trade Commissioner to the UAE, to Italy's Dubai office. Welcome, Dr. Maria.
Global Gold Convention here in Dubai. I hope you can hear me. And
Yes.
okay, now I share. No, I have no share. So I represent the Italian Trade Agency, and we do support the small and medium enterprises to export all over the world. As Mr. Francesco Santa said, we do organize the Italian participation to a lot of exhibition here in Dubai. And as far as jewelry is concerned, the GGT exhibition will be on February, a new exhibition where there will be a lot of Italian companies. So first of all, let me say that the jewelry sector and products are the most important, are the first export products from Italy to the UAE. And so this is a very important sector for us. During the pandemic, in 2020, we had our value was decreased of 50%. So we are very sorry about that, but now the new figures in 2021 shows that our export is increasing. So we are very confident that our relationship between Italy and the UAE will increase during this year. But not only Italian jewelry are coming to the UAE, to Dubai, but also there is a great total interchange, trade interchange between the two countries, because a lot of gold raw material is imported from Italy to from the UAE to Italy. It depends on the fact that in Italy we have some important tax for the certification of the gold. So the two markets, the jewelry market in Italy and the gold market in Dubai are strictly dependent. As far as the jewelry sector is concerned and the trade exhibition, in this year we already organized the watch and jewelry show in Sharjah, and we had 42 Italian companies participating, with the lounge and the meeting area and the dressing room for the Emirates ladies to try the Italian jewelry. But now we are working together with the Ibmc group to participate to the new jewelry exhibition GGT in Dubai on February. So I invite you all the representatives and all the Emirates buyers and companies to come to visit the Italian pavilion and to meet us. Thank you very much. I finish and I'm at your disposal for any question.
Thank you, Dr. Maria. It was very informative, and as you know, see, Dubai has been significantly, it has been growing its share of the global gold trade and jewelry. Now it is almost 25% of the gold trade, global gold trade Dubai is accounting for. It was around in bullion alone, in gold alone, it is 58 to 60 billion dollars, and in jewelry it is 14 billion dollars. And diamonds also, Dubai has established its mark as one of the most exciting ways to trade in diamonds, around 20 billion dollars. So how do you think? Or I will ask my question with, or if you are in a hurry, I will start my questions with you, and later on, we can take questions from the delegates here who are present here. So first, I will ask you. You said, you would be looking forward to boosting the bilateral trade and the trade in gold and jewelry. And what are the strategy, what is the game plan for you?
First of all, we believe that the Italian jewelry must be promoted and must be sold in Dubai, because we had during the pandemic in 2020 a 50% reduced of export of jewelry. So we do believe that the bilateral trade must be increased, increasing the exporting of gold to Italy and jewelry from Italy to the UAE.
Thank you. Now, turning to His Excellency, the Consul General, Doctor, you have been saying that the trade between Italy and UAE have been on a consistent growth trajectory. And of that, what is the percentage of or share of jewelry business?
Well, I think that we have a very golden resource here to ask for, which is our Italian Trade Agency. Maybe we can ask her for more details on this sector, but we can say that it is a very important percentage of the bilateral trade. As I said, in the exchange, Italy is, as I said before in my presentation, Italy is the United Arab Emirates represent. For Italy, the United Arab Emirates represent the third most important supplier of gold and precious accessories. So it's a very important voice on the bilateral relations. But as for figures, maybe we can ask our colleagues from the Italian trade agencies to be more precise on that.
That would be great. Yes, yeah. She can.
Yes, in the our market share in this market is 12%. So in the first semester of 2021, we exported to the United Emirates 4,050 billions of euro. And we are the third exporter countries after India and Turkey.
Thank you, thank you. Now, my next question is to Dr. Maria Lucia. Isn't it? Maria Loretta, sorry. Dr. 2-3 Marias are also there. Okay, and you know that you have made your presence here as one of the Italy has its own global brands here. And Italy as a leader in fashion world, and Dubai is also growing as a fashion destination of the world, and jewelry, apart from the jewelry and diamond business. So how do you think that, in future, you can play more active role in Dubai's growing fashion and jewelry business?
I am asking, what is the key of Dubai? To play innovation with the roots of tradition. So to make boosting jewelry industry for the world, we must have a key idea. What is the key idea? It's a made in Italy of identity. It means that a piece of jewelry is not a simple commodity or the transformation from gold into jewelry, but is an expression of research, of design, but also of roots. Let's say we are talking about Dubai, that is an Arab country. When we talk about Arab country, we have in mind the arabesque, the decorations that are very particular. This is a qualifying matrix that can appear on a piece that is jewelry, but could also appear on the decoration of furniture or any other marble. So made in Italy of identity can start with the gold and to have products that have a soul of the identity of the country. If we launch this pioneer idea, we will have products that are little kids of identity. It's not a dream because Stefano Carbone from Metropolitan Museum in New York, I met, he wrote Venice and Islam, was featuring that all the products made by Islamic world was an expression of details, of deep values, including calligraphy, because it's a kind of a submission to Allah. So what is the meaning? We have to save the identities of the countries through products. That can be any product, particularly gold, because gold is nowadays so important in all the economies. Let's say shares, real estates. Gold is gold forever. So in my opinion, Dubai has to launch a new idea in having products with identity. This is the bigger cake, because then it will make Dubai the El Dorado of the world.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. And let me ask Dr. Piero, who is also a designer by profession. You are a designer. You know that Dubai is one of the most sought-after destinations for the global fashion worlds, like Italy, and France, Paris. Dubai is also growing its stature as one of the most sought-after destinations for fashion, and we have got a fashion district here. And what role Italy can play, or you as a designer can play, in enhancing the image of Dubai as a destination of fashions and good life?
Let's say, as Italians, we respect all the countries because our aim is to, especially here in Dubai, and also in my role of designer, to create the trends, to see the trends that are in the fashion industry, that are in the jewelry industry, and to try to convey these trends into jewelry according to the markets of final destination. So when Dubai is a melting pot of trends and of jewelry for all over the world, we should be also respectful to the country where we will export this jewelry. Let's say, if the jewelry is created for American market, is different than from Middle Eastern market, and from Middle East it's different than from China. Why? Because there is, in my opinion, in our sector, but especially in many sectors, a difference between the branded jewelry and the unbranded jewelry. The branded jewelry, like Cartier, Tiffany, or Gucci, the big brands, they have an international style that can be sold from United States to China and to Middle East. They brand a lot their models and their, how can I say, their best sellers, and they sell worldwide the same trend. Our heritage of small and medium factories and artisans of Italy is different. We try to convey the style of each country and to understand the culture and the trends that are in the country, to do it in the Italian way, in an Italian style system. So our work is much more difficult because we have to focus on many models, on many styles, and to be able to sell and to create trends for worldwide. For sure, Dubai now is not as 20, 25 years ago. I mean, this influence, especially the Middle Eastern area, the social media, and all the system of advertisement and of the trends now can be seen even in a mobile phone. So the trends, the new ideas, they are much more easy to come out, much more faster. So the ideas, the trends are also easy also to, in the timing, I mean, when you create a new model, a new style, a new trend, it gets burned very easily. So, as Italians, what we try to do is to have a lot of creativity and to be always updated with new ideas and new creation, because what we see is that India or Turkey or other countries, they are much more prepared in terms of production and in terms of quantities and in terms of organization system.
Thank you, Dr.
We are more strong in the creativity.
And Dr. Francisco, as you are aware, what makes Dubai gold trading or gold trade the most exciting, one of the most exciting in the world is its competitive nature. It is very competitive price-wise, and its quality is always a benchmark. It has made a benchmark in quality, and excite now, coinciding with this conference, 3 days ago, UAE announced that the UAE is going to make a good delivery standard for golds, which Dubai has done it some years ago. Dubai Good Delivery Standard, where that is the only one delivery standard in 1 kilo of golds. The 1 kilo bar gold, that is a good Dubai gold delivery standard, and UAE is going to set up that or follow that and set up across the UAE. And so the regulatory system here is very great. Dubai has got such a exciting or excellent infrastructure for gold trade, our precious metal trading. And what, in your opinion, you need more from UAE authorities? More regulations or more regulatory environment, or what do you think that Dubai has to do more, or UAE has to do more in terms of boosting its global position as a center of golds?
Yes, honestly speaking, I don't see any particular need that we should ask to the city and municipality here in Dubai. Everything is really well done. I mean, as you said, the quality of services, the infrastructure is so high. I believe that all of us and Dubai, we have a great opportunity now because, as we know, I mean, Hong Kong and some Chinese destinations are losing the power of the past. Dubai is geographically located perfectly in the world because it's so close to Europe, the entire Middle East, and very close also to Asia. So I would say that all of us, all the international, we as organizer, but all the international producers, the association, should really take advantage of this unique opportunity to be in Dubai and to bring their business in Dubai. So I really believe that in the next 3 to 5 years, the industry, the gold industry, jewelry industry will really make Dubai as the center of the future of this industry.
Yes, doctor. Now, see, in UAE's GDP, gold plays almost, especially for Dubai, 20% of its GDP is accounted by the gold trades. Anyway, as you said, Dubai has many more milestones to achieve in its next 50 years of growth trajectory. And now I invite from the delegates, if you have any questions, you can raise your hands and you can address your questions to our expert panelists. Anyone has a question? There is a question, so can you pass on the mic? If you, while asking the question, if you can identify yourself by name and your designation, that would be great.
Thank you very much. I'm Ahmed El-Bloushi, and I work with most of the entrepreneurs and startups, especially in the art industry. As a designer, I have a question for you. We have a lot of designers, especially the Italian designers. They have come into the UAE for installations and exhibitions. One of the exhibitions that we had was by Sturial Contemporary Arts, which is an agency, and they have under them they have a lot of artists from around the world. There was an installation that opened the eyes of a lot of designers, and I would like to know something like that. How are you merging arts? Because you mentioned that identifying the country's culture or connecting the country's culture to the arts with the jewelry. How would you design such a thing as to identify which would be very important to within the maybe in the future would be placed in the museums, just like two artists that we had a great installation which was Sculpture to Wear by Galvin Harrison. We combined, did a collaboration with Azza Al-Qubaisi from Abu Dhabi. This was a perfect example, or this is the perfect example that I can give you. Are we working on such collaborations, or are we bringing in or asking designers to design something for the country?
Yeah.
It depends, thank you for the question. It depends on the aim we have. Let's say if we design something or a collection that has to be for a specific country or for a specific customer, we should find always, we start from the price point. It's bad to say, but this is the story. I mean, when we have something commercial to produce and to design, we have to start from the price point that the customer wants to pay. This is the bad story of our sector. But in the good story, we should remind something. Each country and each culture has its own patterns. So if we design something for the Arab world, I think once we did, for example, the Mashrabiyya, the famous Arab window that is always in the patterns of the Arab world. So we made a collection that was recalling the Mashrabiyya. Or when we did a collection for America, we called it Art Deco, because the Art Deco was an architecture that was influencing the United States architectural. So we are not influenced only from art. We are influenced from many, many things: art, nature, architecture. We are working on different patterns that we see during the day, during what we usually do. Because the research, it's not something that you sit on a table and you think. It's something that is coming from inside and from what you feel during your life. Let's say if you travel a lot, or if you see architecture or museums or cities, it's recalling everything. For example, 3 weeks ago I was in Rome. So Rome is an eternal city that has a culture behind that is incredible. So if you walk by Rome, in the city center, all the streets are with the San Pietrini. It's not a normal ground. It's like ancient Roman system of how they were making the streets. So San Pietrini was a collection that we made many years ago, because we recalled this pattern of the San Pietrini and we applied it to the jewelry, and it was something very sellable and very successful. So, but sometimes, you know, when you make something with too much research, you are not, how can I say, you are not, the people doesn't understand you, because maybe you are too forward. Or so my suggestion is always to be, for sure to make research, for sure to be different from the others by using patterns and doing the collection that is for each country different, but also to be commercially sellable and commercially right on the system of the sales. This is my suggestion as a CEO of a company, because I'm the designer but also CEO, so I have to apply the two spirits that are in contrast, because the creation part is a little bit in contrast with the sales part of the system. But in my opinion, the real goal is to make them combined.
Yes, we are trying to explore the talents that every person has, because we have a world of talents. For instance, this is a piece of jewelry that is connected with Venice, because Venice was famous for the technique of the lace, of the embroidery, which actually comes from the word rakam, so the technique, and we apply to it by putting together by hand the gold beads diamond cut that are industrial made, but they are put together by hand with a net that is hammered by hand. It's a commercial piece, but it's identify what was important in Venice, the lace, the embroidery. Why the embroidery or the lace was important? Because Venice was in trade with the Middle East and particularly with the Arab world. So the Arab world gave an influence. So we are going out of the museum because we say the talents are inside every person that is walking on the street. So let's put this inside the product, like jewelry, like furniture, like glass, and we make a world of differences, because the process of globalization should not be a washing machine where we put the cultures, like the identity of the abaya or the different aspects of a country, but has to be respected, because this is our ancestors, our mother, our grandmother, our past, which is nowadays still living. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Maria. Thank you. Any other questions from the audience? Anyone? Yeah. If there is anyone ready to ask a question to the panelists, please raise your hands. It was an exciting session, and we are going to conclude it. And before that, I would like Dr. Our Consul General, His Excellency Dr. Giuseppe, if you would like to have a concluding remark about all these things, and how do you think that UAE and Italy are going to do a flourishing gold and jewelry business in future, because it has been a supplementary, complementary relationship, and the future is there, and the UAE is making or charting its next 50 years of exciting growth. Because over the last 50 years, UAE had come up like no other countries in the world. It was quite unique and quite unparalleled or breathtaking growth. And in the next 50 years, how do you think that the relationship between UAE and Italy are going to flourish, and in which direction? And as the fashion capital of the world, these two countries, UAE is the fashion capital of the Middle East. Not only the Middle East, it is becoming a global capital, fashion capital like Italy. So share your views on that, observations on that.
Well, as it happens in human relations, also in relations between people and countries, relations must be nourished by knowledge, by exchange of experiences and know-how. Both Italy and UAE have fantastic know-how in the field of jewelry. We have explained, and the other distinguished panelists have explained the tradition of Italy, but also the tradition of UAE and the Arab world in a bigger sense. So no one has to teach anyone about what to do. We just need to be in contact, to exchange experiences, to exchange knowledge and respect for traditions. And I think that's the only way every relation must be kept strong and stronger in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, CG. And Francisco, Dr. Francisco, you haven't spoken much. Would you like to say any concluding remarks? Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Thanks everybody for the opportunity. IEG, on behalf of IEG, I would like to say that we want to invest in UAE. We want to invest on a long-term basis in UAE. Mm-hmm. We really believe that our events in Dubai can become soon the most important event, not only in the region, but also in the whole Asia and covering also most of European country. So I will be sure that we will be continuous in investing in the future. We will bring more show, and we will be cooperating and working together with the local authorities and Dubai World Trade Center.
Thank you. let us conclude that UAE and Italy, both partners in growth over the past 50 years, will continue to do that and be partners in further growth and development in the next 50 years. And thank you very much. And on that note, I would like to conclude this session. Thank you very much.